Hey, music nerds. This one's for you. Hey guys, it's Tim Thornton with Nerd Culture Shock. As you can tell, my very good friend and co-host Kenny Lovejoy is not here with me filming. There was a family emergency, and due to that and certain time constraints, we have elected to film separately for this episode. We actually did an interview with Mark Zbornak, which you'll see later, together. But I was fortunate enough to cover Planet Fest 2018 with Adelita's Way. There was Stone Broken, there was Facing Fire, and of course Fozzy headlining. So let's take a look at that.
Today we're going to talk to Mark from Black Hole Zion about his music and his games. I think he's a Grammy winner, or has won some awards, and he's working on the Stunt Runner soundtrack, so we're going to talk to him today. Hello, Mark.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
How's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good. I think we've got Skype connected, and I can hear you all, you can hear me, so it's good. Jar Jar is here.
Absolutely. Yeah, put on Jar Jar for us here.
I don't know if I can get him back on with the headphones. Let's see.
I hope he makes an album where he wears that and sings.
That would be amazing.
I would love to do that. I might not have anybody else to play music with if I did.
The Jar Jars. Mark Zbornak and the Jar Jar.
Yeah, me so happy to play music.
Okay, so you have an album. We have a few albums because I've been looking you up and looking things up, and we've been listening to The Great Repression today.
Cool.
Tell us about The Great Repression, sir, and tell us about the genre. What's your favorite genre, first of all, and what has inspired you to make this, your music?
So I don't know if I have a favorite genre or not, because my tastes kind of bounce around, but that is very much like an electronic, industrial metal album for sure. It's a concept album. Some of it's based on things that actually happened to me. Some of it is a little bit of sci-fi fantasy, and depending on the time of day and the day of the week, those could flip-flop as to what really happened and what didn't. But it's a concept album, just a really nerdy thing to do, and it talks about astral projection, time travel, alternate timelines, what happens when you can actually connect with yourself in alternate timelines and what that does to those other versions of you, and you know how one version of you may change for the worse and the other for the better, and how you kind of unite that. And it's super nerdy and super dark and deep and all that garbage. It's a little hard. It's a little hard to talk about sometimes because I put a lot into it. So on the lyrics, and I mean the whole band put a lot into it as well. You know, if I'm talking about the lyrics and the vocals. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the concept sounds amazing. I dig it. I'm definitely gonna have to listen more in depth to it. Hey, of course you like nerdy stuff. I know you're a
Yeah.
member of Mandalorian Mercs.
Yes, sir.
And you're all about video games, which you've worked on a few. Was it the Stunt Runner soundtrack that you got the Grammy for?
No, so we'll talk about the Grammy thing first. The Grammy thing is there's an album that I engineered and co-produced. I didn't play on it. It's not a Black Hole Zion album. That was nominated for a Grammy in the January Awards for Best Classical Compendium. So my full-time job, I'm a music recording engineer. I teach music, all that kind of thing. So that's what I got to go to the Grammys for, was for that album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which was cool in and of itself. The Stunt Runner thing, a few years back, a friend of a friend was like, hey, these folks are making this game. They're a West Virginia developer, but they're out in the Bay Area now. I think you should talk to them about doing music. And so I did, and then it just all kind of happened. So I ended up doing the whole soundtrack for this game called Stunt Runner, which is like a physics puzzler game, and it follows this dude named Smash Johnson. And he's a washed-up 80s stuntman, and the game centers around you're the director trying to give him a comeback, and it's a very retro sounding, a lot of synthesizer stuff, very 80s sounding electronic soundtrack.
I noticed you have that in Black Hole Zion. It has sort of an 80s synthesizer, like a David Bowie inspired metal kind of. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Trent Reznor. The album that he did with Bowie. It has a very 80s, inspired. I love that. I love the industrial, metal.
I very much appreciate that. David Bowie is probably my favorite artist of all time. So, anytime if you could use Black Hole Zion or me in the same sentence as David Bowie, I'm gonna be super happy, and then that would be seconded by probably Kiss or something. But it was the idea was just trying to make like a real heavy, little bit weird, kind of grimy, but a little synthy concept album. So that's what we did when we started working on it. It took quite a bit of time because I'm a big pain in the ass to do anything with.
Oh man, we are too. The Great Repression we've been listening to today, and we have it playing right now, and the vocals are terrific on that.
Thanks.
Do you have any inspiration vocally? Who's your favorite vocalist?
Oh man, Paul Stanley from Kiss.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, and you have to get, David Bowie, of course, Paul Stanley from Kiss. Who's somebody else that I think is a really amazing singer? The guy from Nazareth. I can't remember his name now, and I feel like a jerk for saying that.
I was just talking about that yesterday with somebody. The guy from Nazareth has probably one of the best voices ever, but nobody talks about.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, of course, there's like newer stuff, like a lot of, just because it's industrial metal, like you're probably going to get the Fear Factory, Ministry, White Zombie, Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, all that kind of stuff.
Fear Factory shirt right now.
Yeah. So all that stuff is good, and we definitely like that. Our drummer is a big Fear Factory fan as well.
Awesome.
But for me, it was all about like, all right, can I sound as good as Paul Stanley? but make it like heavier than that. So that was what for me was, a lot of that was trying to do.
Oh man, that's great. It's fantastic.
I'm glad you get.
You tell me about the Mutant Football League. You have a song on Mutant Football League.
Yeah. So we just found out we're allowed to start talking about it now, but there's a company, Digital Dreams Entertainment. They did a spiritual successor to Mutant Football League, the game from like the Sega Genesis days, and they have this thing. It's called Dynasty Edition, and it's coming out on October 30th. And they're using the song 8-Bit Rage in there for the team, the Crack Some Skull Jugulars, which is kind of like the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that is now my favorite team in Mutant Football League, simply because they're using our music as their theme song. So that comes out on October 30th for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and then PC and Mac if you're like a Steam person.
Okay.
So I'm happy to, looking forward to playing it, because I haven't even gotten to play the game with our music in it yet.
Yeah, I know you said that, we weren't going to get too in depth with it because you can't say too much about it, but we did want to bring that up to you.
Yeah, well, I can tell you everything I know now, which I think I just did.
Right. Yeah, well, we're not going to take too much of your time, but we would like to thank you for talking to us today, man. It's really great of you. It's really nice of you, and you've been.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I've known Tim for 3 years now. I'm trying to think of how long.
Close, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just happy that you all were doing this. I don't want to keep babbling. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and thank you for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being on.
Thank you, everybody. This has been Mark Zvornak. Check out Black Hole Zion. He's amazing. Mark, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for being a friend, you wonderful golden girl.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.
So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And again, this is just part 1 of the music series that we're going to be doing. Part 2 will probably be out in early December. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that. And again, due to Kenny's family emergency, I'd like to ask everybody to please send their thoughts and prayers to him, because I know he's having a little bit of a rough time. And we appreciate all the support. We appreciate you guys watching. We're doing this for you. We're not doing this for money. Clearly, we're not making anything from this. We're doing this for fun and trying to provide a little bit of entertainment for you guys. So please, if you like this video, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you want the next episode to be, and we'll see what we can do about it. I'm sure we can work something out. And yes, we are still doing the prize pack giveaway, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do another one that's slightly more realistic. If we can get 100 subscribers on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, I'm going to give away a smaller prize pack. We'll probably throw a shirt in, a Nerd Culture Shock shirt, maybe some Nerd Culture Shock stickers, maybe even a pop figure or something. You never know. So get us to 100 on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and we'll make it happen. We'll send you something out. Now, as for the big prize pack, we're going to be adding an item every episode. I know we haven't talked about it, but episode 1, we decided is going to be a sticker pack. Episode 2 is a Nerd Culture Shock t-shirt. Episode 3, I think we're going to do... we might do a iTunes gift card, since it is music related. We can do an iTunes gift card. So make sure you're subscribed on YouTube for that. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, God only knows how many episodes we're going to be at by that point. But as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to pick one person, one of our YouTube subscribers, and we're going to send you just a massive box in the mail, and you're going to get it, and you're going to be like, woo, it's Christmas! And, yeah, it's going to be great. So make sure you're subscribed, and if you haven't already, go over to our Facebook, check it out. Go over to our Instagram, check it out. And next time, Kenny will be here with me, and it's going to be great. So I hope you guys enjoyed everything, and can't wait to see you again.